Month-long platinum strike on small businesses around the country, and its broader impact is Allon Raiz, CEO of Raizcorp. Allon, you're making a big reputation for yourself. I think there's a few people still don't understand what Raizcorp does.
Thanks, Alec. Yeah, we are a business, we call ourselves a business prosperator, and we call ourselves a prosperator, not an incubator, because most of the companies within Raizcorp are prosperous, and effectively what we do is support small businesses through their growth. They come in, we look for the entrepreneur, not the business, and then we support that entrepreneur with physical infrastructure, guides, a strategy guide, a finance guide, marketing, sales, personal development. We train them, we're accredited through the CHE. We provide them with books, we do their books and linkages into corporate supply chains.
Such a contrast to the guy, we had a guy here on Monday who claims to be the world's best business coach, and my goodness, underwhelming in the extreme. So it's nice to have you in the studio, kind of a homegrown product, but you clearly, with this relationship that you have with small businesses, you also have been keeping a close eye on the impact, first of all, of what's going on in the Northwest Province with the platinum strike, and then maybe we can also look at the engineering sector and how it's happening there, and give us some insights.
Yeah, we have an operation in Rustenburg which is mainly there to support the mining industry and the related industry around their enterprise and supply development programs. And obviously the strike had a huge effect on the whole city of Rustenburg, and in particular the small businesses. And really what I'm very proud about is that, you know, when the thing started, we didn't know how long it would take before it ended. It could have been a week, it could have been 2 weeks. But as we started to see that this thing was going to linger, we sat down and put together a 10-point plan in order to try and prepare ourselves for a long bunker down.
So what was in that plan?
So first of all, we diversified the products that the companies were selling. Secondly, we diversified the clients. We made very sure that very soon into that strike that they were looking for alternative clients outside of the mining industry. Thirdly, we looked at different geographies, you know, in terms of outside of Rustenburg per se, in Gauteng, KZN, etc., looking for other clients. We looked at cost-cutting opportunities. That was
were there many retrenchments?
No, none.
Not.
No. And in fact, the portfolio, and this is what I'm proud about, the portfolio grew. It was so counterintuitive, but the portfolio grew, and I think just based on what we did, these companies now are going to thrive.
So you didn't waste a good crisis?
No, and what's very important is we've taken all that learning and we've applied it across the country to all our other prosperators. And so there's almost the sense that you know, our manager there, a guy called Peter Kipri, has become a hero within Raizcorp, because he sat down, made a plan and implemented it, and that thinking is now rippled throughout Raizcorp.
So interesting. As I say, you didn't waste a good crisis. Sometimes a crisis can give you the greatest opportunity. What about the NUMSA strike? Are you able to help engineering businesses then to find a way that they can turn, it's hard to turn it to advantage, but at least not go out of business?
Well, it's the same, it's exactly the same thinking, is that, you know, it's about diversification geographically, product, client, it's about cutting costs, it's about working harder, it's about using the Raizcorp network as well. That was a big thing. Everyone got together. People were sitting and giving each other leads. You know, where normally you're quite siloed as an entrepreneur. People were sitting down around tables and saying, okay, I know these guys, I know those guys, who needs this, who needs that. How many people
have you got in your network?
Over 500 businesses we support around the country and Angola as well, and we employ directly over 140 people ourselves as Raizcorp.
Yeah. You've grown.
Yeah,
my goodness. When did you start?
There's two dates. There's the unofficial 2000 and the official 2002 when we registered. So it's been 14 years of doing this.
140 staff members doing what primarily?
Supporting small businesses, making sure that they thrive. And that's why we use the word prosperated on incubator, because incubation connotes illness and weakness. And our companies are not, we've got businesses doing over 200 million rand in our portfolio.
Have you got any in business rescue?
No. None.
So you won't go and help the guys who are really in trouble?
Well, we are those guys in a sense. We are those guys. We're not practitioners as per se, as registered practitioners, but we do the job of rescuing businesses. There's a market failure in terms of small businesses tend to fail early on, and we intervene not based on the business, but based on the entrepreneurial flair of the entrepreneurs leading the business.
Did you meet James Khan when he was here?
I was unfortunately in the UK at the time he was here, but one of my team met with him.
What was their feedback? Can he help us?
I think his plan is to get our government to put money to match some money he wants to put in and get our government.
Similar to what I guess he's done in the UK. Is it applicable to this country?
Look, I'm of the view that there's a lot of money floating around. It's a very controversial view, and my view is that there is more good money chasing business than there are good businesses chasing money. And I think the moment we sober up to the fact that we have a need as entrepreneurs to have a compelling economic right to exist, when we take on that responsibility, money will flow to us. So I do think there's an opportunity, having said that, but I also don't think that there is no cash around. I think there's lots of cash around.
When you say a compelling
economic right,
lovely. I'm sure you thought that one through very carefully. It's a good way of describing it. What do you mean by that?
You know, very often people come up with a business idea which is a Me Too idea. Do I set up another spaza shop next to the other 7? And then I complain that that no one wants to finance me and no one wants to buy from me, etc. So for me, the responsibility is around making sure that your business model works, that if you put 100 Rand in the top, 120 Rand falls out the bottom and not 80 Rand. So it does the actual model work. And number 2, have I differentiated myself enough from my competitors in order to make my clients come to me versus them? Once you sort of get those 2 basics right, money generally flows to you.
So you're a bit of a skeptic then on what James Khan might be able to do for us?
No, a skeptic I think is the wrong word. What I'm saying is that it's not that there isn't, the problem isn't there's no money, I'm providing money. Okay, I'm saying that there is a market for that, but it needs to be focused on companies with a compelling economic right to exist. And in our discussions with him, we spoke about companies that already had a track record of producing that for them to be funded. So he's thinking very similarly to us. It's not just, I'll come with your idea and I will fund it.
Yeah, the concern, I guess, is that if government gets involved, often government likes to make sure that the funding goes to the people that they like.
Yeah.
Cater deployment, etc. So, and that doesn't usually work that well in business. What do you think about our new Ministry of Small Business?
You know, I think it's a positive thing that there's somebody there. I think she's got a big task ahead in terms of differentiating herself from the DTI and economic development in terms of where the lines are. And there's been a lot of progress I've seen in the last couple of weeks. I want her to win, I really do.
Is she listening to you? Has she phoned you?
No, we're still in the process of trying to meet one another.
She's only been in power for what, 3 months?
Yeah.
It's quite, so you've got a tough diary, I guess, eh?
No, yeah, sure.
Do you want to help? Are you saying, here I am, I know a little bit about small business, we've got a track record, bring me in and I'll do some national service?
I'm dying to help.
Why?
Because I think that if we're going to change the future of this country I've got young kids, if I want them to have a future in this country, I have to be part of that solution. And I have a certain expertise, I have something to give, so why not give it? And I already do my national service sitting on other boards. I have a 10-point plan which I'm dying to share with her. Most of it she probably knows and might just be nuances on the thinking, but it's I think anyone who can help should help, and I can, so I should.
Good for you. Next time wear your South African tie as well. I'm sure you've got one in your cupboard somewhere. Allon Raiz, the Chief Executive of Raizcorp. Always a pleasure to have him in studio.